Hey there, everyone. Welcome to Rime of the Frostmaiden here on Penny Dragon Games, coming at you with episode 3 of Verbeeg Problem. My name is Craig Darling. I will be your dungeon master today, and I am joined today, as always, by our lovely cast of players. We'll get to them in just a moment, but before we jump into it, I've just got a couple little ad reads for you here for some of the projects going on at Penny Dragon Games. The Violent Madness is back next Sunday. As the party trudged through the swampy mire, they swiftly realized they were not alone. After learning of a much bigger threat in the bog, they elect to take the Duke in their company to safety. Easier said than done. Up next, we have the Softhrone Saga, which continues this Friday. Having made their way to the grim temple in the mountains that gave the town its name, the party uncovered some of what the agent of the crown, Valdar, may be up to so far from the capital city. For now, though, they promised a certain druid that they'd help him with his giant problem. Oh, this giant can causing problems in a lot of games recently. The Cloaks of Minehelm return on July 31st at 7 p.m. With the odds stacked high against them, our so-called heroes must fight their way through an army of outlaws, only each other, and one mysterious sniper in the shadows for backup. And then we have the Churn Gang on July 29th for the Alternative Academy Part 2. After defeating the Guardian Mimic, our heroes head for a showdown with the school's Guardians and Baba Blackbird. And then we have one who, I'm a terrible person and I'm forgetting which game he ran and he didn't put it in his blurb. Can anyone help me out?
Fellowship of the Fallen?
Fellowship of the Fallen, thank you. Fellowship of the Fallen is coming at you pretty soon as well. In the house of Thalavar, there were some spooky goings on, a ghost, a possession, and some star spawn manglers. All were defeated, but are they truly gone? You never know with those star spawn. They're tricky guys. That's it for the ad reads for today. Let's just get right into it. Introduce our cast here. Unfortunately, Kelson is not with us today, so Iodin, our Townsfolk Ranger, is going to be spirited away fairly swiftly here. But we do have the other four, starting with Brandy. Brandy, why don't you just introduce yourself, your player a little bit? And I thought we'd do something a little different this week. Just sort of get a sort of better judge of like where this character fits and everything in Icewind Dale. Where are you kind of with the Children of Oral right now? This religious sect, cult, depending on who you ask, that have become like super influential and have been doing these sacrifices. Like, how does your character feel about that?
So my character, I'm Brandy, by the way. My character is Vivian. She's a rogue Dapanimir. She was changed against her will. And then she was experimented on. So we'll figure out more on that later. But she does not enjoy human sacrifice, even though, she needs blood to live. She doesn't believe in harming the innocent, but she's willing to do what needs done. So she's kind of chaotic neutral. So, but she still has morals, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And probably like a pretty common sentiment across the 10 towns. Up next, Jack, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, your character, and same question to you.
Hey, hello, I'm Jack. I am playing Earl, a half-orc fighter, born and raised in Icewind Dale. And I think you'd be fine with them as long as they're doing a pretty good job with the economy.
Fair enough.
Like promising to put in the new road, keeping things going, making sure trade stays well. That's enough for me. Anyway.
Sure. A productive society is a surviving society, for sure. I get that. All right. Up next, Ashton. Why don't you go ahead, introduce yourself and your character, and yeah, same thing for you.
Hey guys, I'm Ashton. I play Katumi Cleavestone. She is a half-orc sorceress. And as for the human sacrifices, she finds them to be a huge nuisance. Just because, why? There's no point. They're not helping, so what's the point? It's been 2-3 years, and there's just a lot of dead people and no more warmth.
and then yeah, but oh, I get that. Yeah, it's a tricky thing. There's like a lot of points of view on it. I'm excited to actually like, get more into that as the campaign goes on. And last but not least, we have our lovely friend Ryan. Ryan, why don't you take it away?
Oh, I'm Ryan. I'm playing Rumblebuffin.
I love it.
Finally got my slate and my chalk so that I can use it properly. I'm a Verbeeg druid who grew up around the area, spent some time traveling, kind of went to look for the stars, essentially, and would very, very much not be for the children sacrificing people or anything, really, because he accepts that fights and things and claim wars and stuff like that happen, but killing just to grab power, no, that wouldn't be too good.
For sure. Yeah, no, very very sensible response to that, for sure. And that is everyone with us today. I'm just gonna fiddle around because in classic DM fashion, I forgot one little thing that is blocking me from progressing. Okay, we have a token for Vivian. Excellent. Now, kind of just to recap from last time we got together, the party had previously met with a dwarf, this retired bounty hunter named Lynn Trollbane in the town of Goodmead, who had hired them on to kind of follow up and investigate a series of murders that have been happening around the 10 towns lately. There are a few things that link these murders to each other, as well as a few local factions and religious organizations mainly. But before we could even really get into that, the party were disturbed pretty early in the morning by a lone Verbeeg who had decided to take it upon himself to raid the city of Goodmead, injuring a few people, killing Speaker Kendrick, the speaker leader of Goodmead, and getting away with a couple very large casks of mead, which are like one of this town's like major exports and would be like a very heavy hit for this town to take. The party kind of leapt very quickly into action, following this Verbeeg back to its lair deep in the forest that's kind of to the north of Goodmead, where they encountered a number of creatures that it had kind of hanging out in its home with it. It had an ogre friend that it seemed to be caring for, and a very nefariously acquired herd of sheep and goats. As the party found out, these were not his animals, but he was keeping them and basically treating them as pets in there. And they had a cave bear friend in there, all of which unfortunately perished under the combined force of the party, except for the sheep and goats, which were let out safely. The party took a little bit of time to get to know this Verbeeg. His name was Doug. He had claimed that the militiamen from Goodmead had attacked him and his brother while they were out hunting, and that his going into town was a retaliation. And unfortunately, things couldn't really be solved peacefully. Katumi dealing the killing blow with her greatsword, decapitating the Verbeeg. Kind of explored the cave a little bit more, found that this was an old elvish ruin a little bit further in. A little bit of the actual architecture of the place was still preserved, and it was a tomb. And we found some items which have yet to be identified or really used. But there are more pressing matters as the party are kind of recollecting, and they hear a voice calling out from the forest, "Doug! Doug, are you home?" And kind of peeking around the corner, Katumi saw a female Verbeeg kind of strolling out with a very large picnic basket under her arm, kind of crossing the clearing, coming towards the party, which holds your gaze for a moment, where there's like this kind of ripping noise coming from the southern end of the cavern. And right behind Iodine, this rift just kind of cuts into the air, and a very large four-fingered furry claw just like reaches out, grabs onto Iodine, pulls him back, and shuts the rift behind him. The three of you in the caves, we'll start off with you. Iodine has disappeared. This Verbeeg is on its way. What are you all up to?
So Rumble's, because he was, I think if I remember rightly, standing next to Katumi. He's gonna tap her on the shoulder. He's gonna hold up his slate. I don't know if you can see that because of the light.
It's perfect.
I have a plan. Get ready to run.
Yep.
And then I use my second wild shape to turn back into that wolf.
Okay.
And I am going to chase the sheep and the goats out of the cave and basically like herd them out kind of thing, make them scatter in front of this woman that's coming towards us. And then I'm just going to kind of bolt out into the forest as much as I can and try and get away from her.
Okay, love that. I did take away the tokens, but yeah, the goats and sheep are all like nearby. They're kind of in the middle of the forest and kind of far from home, so they're not really moving too far. But they are kind of. You can see them all collecting and kind of over in, if my ping would work, which it isn't. So kind of down in this direction, you can see most of that herd kind of gathered around a bunch of trees and logs, and they should
on the
all be on
welcome
the map.
screen.
Oh, that would be why I'm looking at the map and you're not.
Okay.
There we go.
Cool.
Okay.
So yeah,
That's fairly
essentially
easy.
it's just to cause a diversion and essentially make her think that this wolf is what's attacked them, and then scatter so she can't smash me against the floor.
Alrighty. This is not going to be hard to convince the sheep and goats to run from you, as they are already terrified of this wolf man shapeshifter that has come into their home. So yeah, give me just I guess animal handling feels right.
Okay. That's a 10.
It's a 10. More than enough to get them kind of scared and scattered. And I'll just kind of show you, they are kind of all down in this direction from where you are, but it's pretty easy to get them whipped up into a frenzy and running across this clearing.
Perfect. Not to cause a problem, but I have black screen.
Oh, probably because it's on my side. Yep. There you go.
Hey, there we go. Cool. So yeah, run out after them, and essentially I want to bolt north away from them and try and get into the trees and clearing away from her as much as possible.
Okay.
But I want to draw her at least kind of 50 to 100 feet if I can from the cave entrance before I'll deliberately be trying to lose her.
Alrighty. And then can you give me another performance check?
Performance. Oh, this is going to be good. 19. What? I've rolled well.
Love that. All right. So I'm going to switch over to Vivian real quick here. I'm going to shrink you down to an appropriate size. There we go. You're kind of hidden for the moment in this clearing. You see this Verbeeg kind of calling out for their friend as there is a sudden rush of bleats and baas and hooves and animals moving as a small herd of goats and sheep kind of bolt out, cross paths with this large Verbeeg, and they're being chased by a large white wolf. Rumble, you would give me a perception check, see if you would notice Vivian on your way by.
20.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, you would notice you're kind of in the middle of this gambit, so I'm not gonna make you stop halfway or anything. But as you pass by the Verbeeg, Vivian, you see this wolf kind of herd all of these smaller animals in its direction in like a very blatant attempt to get it distracted. And with your performance check, Verbeeg takes the bait. In fact, as you run by, it is going to try and swing with an opportunity attack.
Okay.
With It's just bare hands, so it's not going to hurt too much, hopefully. Yeah, Nate's not going to hit you anyway. So yeah, it just swings, hits nothing but open air, and it starts to turn. Those of you in the cave and Vivian on the outside, you can see this Verbeeg start to change directions and follow this wolf out into the forest. Vivian, we'll start with you. What are you up to? What do you make of this?
Well, being a predator herself and believing in the chain of life is how I'm going to play that. She would feel for the wolf. Could I do like maybe a check to see if I would maybe understand that it's rumble? Like, I don't know how that would work.
You've never seen rumble in their wild shape before,
right?
So
that's true. Okay.
I think it just looks like a big white wolf, like almost like a winter wolf.
Okay. So that being said, she would probably move closer. So let's see. I don't remember how much I have. 35. Okay. So she's going to move up 30. Whoop. You got to turn that off. She's going to move up 35 feet. So about right in here.
Okay.
Maybe kind of under tree cover, I guess. Oops.
Alrighty. Can you give me a stealth check real quick?
I sure can. $25.
Woof. I got a nat 20. You still beat the Verbeeg. Okay. So with the 25, you kind of get a little bit closer. You can see into this cave now where there's this kind of large mammoth skeleton that is kind of marking the entrance, where this wolf and all these animals kind of flew out, or not flew out, but ran out of. The Verbeeg totally consumed with this wolf and what it's doing, doesn't notice you get closer. Real quick, we'll cut to Katumi and Earl, rather. And yeah, this plan seems to be going off. What are the two of you up to?
I am going to stuff Doug's decapitated head inside this bag of holding. And then I am going to head out of the cave. Wait, do we have the meat? It's all on the cart, right? We were able to load it.
You do. Looking back at it now, like it took quite a bit to actually like move these barrels. They're quite large. They're about 15 gallons. They weigh about 100 pounds each. There's 3 of them. You have managed to fix the sled and they've been loaded on, but it's going to take at least 2 to like pull it anywhere.
Okay, so I'm gonna take a look. Or
never mind. Sorry, I forgot I wasn't a player for a second
there. Unfortunately, I don't have any spells that change the weight of things. So, I mean, we came here for this, and leaving without it seems like a terrible thing to do. But also, I'm not trying to get into a whole nother fight with another Verbeeg. So, with 2 half-orcs, could we pull this cart?
It would come down to a strength check between the 2 of you, but it seems doable. Doesn't seem unreasonable between the 2 of you.
What do you think? Should we try to bring this with, or should we just take off and come back with more people?
What makes you believe we are not able to take on this newcomer?
Well, Ian did just get ripped through, a hole in space and time was just ripped into the cave, and that could happen again. So if there's just one of us left, seeing as how we're still not sure where Vivian is, and our resident druid has taken off to give us time to escape, it would just be the 2 of us fighting her. I mean, I'm up for it if you are, but I would think the proper thing to do is to retreat.
Mm.
We have what we came for, so why not just go?
Fleeing would seem to be the wiser option. You are correct. I will wander over to where the cart is.
Yeah, all right. So I'm gonna go to the other side and we'll see if we can't pull this thing out of here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it'll just be a just strength from the two of you.
Just quick, just quickly there, Craig. You got a whole load of blesses. I think you're full up now. I think Vivian got a bless as well. Thank you guys in chat.
I have been playing that close to the chest, but I have been keeping an eye on that. Thank you, everyone in the chat.
Thank you, chat.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Okay.
It's not great.
It's not great. The good news is that it does get moving. But for
I'm gonna blame my boots.
anyway.
I'm just gonna blame my boots.
For the moment anyway, it's going to cost double movement. So if we get into any sort of initiative or anything like that, it's going to take a while to move this thing anywhere. But it does get moved.
Bringing it out here might be more wise. It's further along.
Right. All right, and while this is going on, yeah, you can say you can get it out there, no problem. Take a little bit of doing, but you can make your way out through that entrance without too much danger of being noticed. Give me a. I actually don't even think you need a stealth check. Vivian, what are you up to? You're you give me a perception check rather.
Give you a perception check?
Yes, please.
All right. 16.
All right. And as you're kind of moving up and getting close to this entrance, and that Verbeeg is kind of moving out into the kind of thicker, deeper forest from here, you hear the creaking of wood, and from back in that direction, you can just sort of make out the shapes of Earl and Katami kind of pulling this sled with these 3 huge casks of meat on it out a separate entrance.
Okay. So she would head towards them. Where exactly are they?
They are out of your vision, but they are back in this direction. Back the way you came.
Okay, so seeing that the giant is distracted, she's going to start making her way towards the sound.
Okay.
So she's so she's going to move back this way and kind of stay in tree cover. I think this is about where you said 35 was.
Yeah, about there. Yeah, we don't need to worry about turn movement just quite yet. If you just want to say like I get over to them, you can get over to them.
Okay, so I can go over to him?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so she would that's not supposed to happen. Sorry, apparently I'm having trouble with Roll20.
Oh, no problem.
All right, come back here. Stop it.
Stop that right now. Back with Rumble. This Verbeeg has taken the bait and it is chasing you out into the forests, pretty singularly focused on you and this flock that you have released out into the forest. How are you keeping away and ahead of it, I guess?
I mean, do I feel like she's matching me for speed, or do I feel like I'm gaining away from her? Or is she gaining on me?
Feeling like if you pushed it, you could just straight up outrun her. The thing is that although she doesn't move particularly quickly. Her strides are so long that she covers a lot of ground in a few steps. So it's a matter of if you can just endure that for a little bit, you think?
I'm gonna keep running to the point where I feel like, I'm gonna push it as fast as I can, just to get. First of all, do I know I've made enough distance that the other guys might have got out?
For sure, you would have. Yeah.
Okay, so if with that knowledge now, I'm gonna push a little bit quicker if I can, just get through it, just pushing harder, and then I want to make enough distance where I feel like she wouldn't quite be able to see me. And I'm gonna try and drop behind like a big rock or something, and then just try and like bury myself because I'm white. I'm hoping I can like slink into the snow and cover myself enough that she wouldn't notice me.
Yeah, no, and yeah, before too long, there is this sort of large pile of like boulders and rocks that you feel you can kind of get under and bury and kind of conceal yourself. Give me a perception check though before you quite get there.
Cool. The other thing I will add as well is if I see a spot where I think I'll be able to dive under the snow and get clear away from her, I'm not running up to it and then diving in. I'm going to make a massive leap so that there's no footprints for her to follow.
Love that.
Perception 21.
Okay, perfect. And yeah, you have to kind of very quickly course correct. As the very last one, you see a very large pit trap on the forest floor ahead of you that has been dug out, probably by one of these Verbeeg, but you manage to kind of zoom around it and get up into that. And I just need a stealth check once you are up and hidden.
Okay. Not too bad. 21.
Okay. Kind of hunkering down, you take that big leap and kind of get in between the rocks and snow and kind of get yourself to the point where you think that you are concealed. I am going to use my inspiration now on this perception check from the Verbeeg, as eventually it crashes through the trees and kind of gets close to where you are, and we'll see what happens here. It does not notice you. It kind of looks around. There's a snap, a branch breaking from somewhere like kind of off to the east from where you are, and Verbeeg hears that and kind of jolts its head over and runs off into the distance. And after a minute or two, it grows quiet again for you.
Okay, so then I'm going to start slinking off, being very careful not to make any noise as I make my way through the trees and stuff, on a path to what I think would be an interception with the other guys.
All right. As you are kind of, I guess this would be like while you're hiding, not quite on your way back, but as this is going on, Contami and Earl, Vivian has reappeared after just like disappearing last night. She kind of breaks through the forest as the two of you are just hauling this thing out of the caves and like making very little headway with it, admittedly. And she just like, yeah, how does this go, Vivian?
Was that to me? I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, like, because you're probably aware that you just kind of left in the middle of the night and they haven't seen you. So this, how do you handle this?
Okay. So she would kind of still be like stealth, but not in a way that would hopefully scare them.
Mm-hmm.
And she would kind of just walk up to them and say, "Would you guys like some help?"
That would be welcome, I guess.
All right. And
we
she
appreciate that. I got your letter. I'm sorry. There was a man bolted to the wall, so I wasn't able to read it. What happened? You know what? Never mind. It's not important. We need to move this.
I'll explain later.
By the way,
and she'll walk up and do what she can to help.
By the way, are we leaving tracks here? Because we are pushing a very heavy cart through the snow and also stepping presumably quite heavily while pushing it.
Yeah, you would definitely be
leaving
tracks for sure.
So we're moving slowly. leaving rather obvious tracks, and presumably the person who's distracted now will come back to the cave, find a corpse there, and look for the people who killed him. And our hope right now is we can get this cart back to the village before she catches up or finds a trace of us.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I attempt shenanigans? And I don't know if this is going to work, but I'm gonna ask. Since me pulling the cart is not working out the way I wanted to right now, I would switch with Vivian and have her help pull the cart, and then can I just cast mending on our tracks so that they're not there?
Mending, eh? I don't
Because I
think
mean the
so,
snow
but I'm
has been
gonna
crushed and
check.
it wasn't supposed to be. So my thinking is I could just fix the snow, right?
Single break or tear in an object you touch, which is a broken chain link, 2 halves of the key.
I totally
Like,
get it. That's a no, but
give me
that was
an
my
Arcana
wild
check.
idea.
Give me an Arcana
Ooh.
check. Let's see.
It's only a 9.
9. Yeah,
Nine.
it seems like a good idea, and you try it out, and it doesn't seem to be working quite that way. It's not a broken object. It is merely compressed snow. So it's not working out, unfortunately.
So
You could fix a snowflake, Christian.
So Vivian would look to Katumi and she would say, well, I know that or before I ask this, do we have our packs with us or did we leave them?
Ooh, that is a good question. Well, I mean, they do. Katumi did find a bag that she's been using. I think most of the supplies were left back at the inn. Unless you all grabbed your bags and everything as you left as well.
I know Earl grabbed his bag. I remember I specified that I was going up the stairs to put my armor on.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I know I had the good sense to grab my weapons. But seeing as how this is my very first adventure, I don't think she would have thought to also grab her bag because she assumed the fight was going to be in the courtyard and that she wasn't going to leave.
Okay, love that.
Okay, so Vivian's going to pull out of her sack like her extra like nice cloak for like non-combatants, non-traveling, and she's gonna hand it to Katumi and she's gonna say, here, use this and kind of sway it in the snow and see if it'll at least cover the tracks a little bit.
Around this time, Rumble, you've kind of gotten back to where the rest of the party is, all back together as Vivian's kind of pulling this out, and they're kind of covering their tracks. This does a pretty good job. It does look like someone has kind of wiped a piece of fabric through the snow, and it's kind of like waving away. You know how snow gets kind of pushed around, it does that. But it is doing a good job of covering the actual tracks themselves.
Can I check for scents and stuff to see if there's any likeliness of this Verbeeg coming closer to us?
Yeah. Give me a perception check.
23. What a shame of a nat 20.
Ooh, still 23, pretty great. Yeah, with that 23, you don't. When you were in close quarters with the Verbeeg last time, in your wolf form, you got a pretty decent gauge for like what a Verbeeg typically smells like.
Yeah.
At least this one, you're not smelling any of that now.
Okay, so in that case, I'll drop my form, and then he takes his chalkboard which he just breaks the chalk on, but never mind. Says, I take cart. And he'll start trying to take over the cart from the guys and start trying to drag it away so that they can, because he sees that they're like brushing the snow. So he's saying like, I'll take the cart, you carry on doing what you're doing, kind of thing.
Okay. So Fearbolg, you've got that powerful build, don't you?
I do indeed.
Yeah.
So you count as one size larger when determining carrying capacity and the weight you can push, drag, or lift.
Wow. Okay. Then yeah, in that case, this is not an issue for you whatsoever. Yeah, in fact, it's on the side of easy.
Nice. Okay.
And yeah, like you can like kind of like one hand the cart and just sort of walk alongside it. It's a little hard to steer that way, and I guess sometimes you'd have to switch to two hands, but it is not difficult for a gentleman of your powerful build. Love that.
Yep, that's me then until we get to town, or until someone else says something.
I think at this point, Katsuми is just listening as hard as possible for like a snapping of a twig or anything, just to make sure that they aren't caught unawares.
Okay. Heading back, keeping your eyes and ears out. Can you actually give me a perception check? Yeah, I like the sound of that.
Oh, that's persuasion. Oh, 16.
Okay. Stand by. They okay. About 20-30 minutes into your haul back, you're making sure that you're covering your tracks as best you can while Rumble takes on the majority of the actual sled bearing duties. You do notice something as you're going through a bit of a heavier forested area. There's no real trail out here, but as you're kind of coming around a smaller, longer clearing that's serving as like a path of least resistance for this thing, hanging in the trees all around this little clearing are what at first look like icicles hanging from the boughs of these trees and like the different little branches. But upon closer inspection, they are creatures of some sort. They are almost like imp-like in shape. I just threw it in the chat there. Kind of almost like little fairies with these kind of little wings and little slender bodies. Large hooked noses, and it's kind of almost like the face almost reminds you of like goblinoid almost. They are very mischievous looking creatures, if nothing else. Oh, did that not come through in the chat? I'm sorry. Here. And there we go. That's what you're kind of looking at. I don't know if that popped up for you. Yep, there it is. Yeah.
Nasty.
Nasty little boogers.
And they appear to just be waiting, but caught to me as you're kind of scoping these guys out, you can tell at least one of them is watching you as you're moving through.
Watching is fine. Watching is not attacking.
Mm-hmm.
Can I maybe get a idea, like, of what they're waiting for?
Yeah, why not? Like, give me a either a nature or an arcana check.
They're the same, so we'll go nature.
Okay.
5.
Hard to tell. There is something a little sinister about these guys. Maybe it's just the way that the Lord's made them, but yeah, that you're not sure what they're waiting for, but there's a bad feeling there.
With my free hand, looking at them, I'm just going to produce flame and be like, as if I'm kind of not threatening them with it, but just like, look, I've got fire. I'm going to burn you if you come near us.
Okay. Give me an intimidation check.
Oh, yeah. Okay. 17. Another nat 20. What the hell?
Wow. Okay. Okay. And then
There's only a 17 for the actual roll.
okay.
I know, Kristen. Madness.
Well, they don't really react.
Hmm.
At least at the sight of fire, you get the impression that they like get your drift. Like they have an idea of what that fire means, but they don't seem to react.
Hmm.
Just
I'm going-
sitting there motionless.
I'm going to turn to Katumi and say, can you cast the light cantrip? Do you know how to make something shine with light?
Light. I don't have that spell, unfortunately. You want me to melt something, I can do that, but I can melt things and I can fix things, but I cannot make them glow.
Something to maybe distract these creatures. Something that would maybe create a loud bang, change something to be a different color.
I mean, if we're looking for a loud sound, I can always cast Toll the Dead, but I think that just may make them attack us.
Hmm. Hmm. I guess. I guess Earl would keep walking for now, if nothing is happening.
All right.
I'm just stopping the produce flame as well, by the way, because I don't want us to be seen.
Okay. So let's see how this goes. Moving your way through, they just kind of hang there, watching, always watching as you go through. You move yourself like halfway through, they still don't seem to do anything. And then just as you think you might get out of this without a scrape, a huge cloud of fog just appears out of the air all around you, obscuring your vision in all directions 20, 30 feet as these things one by one take off up into the air and start swirling around. And I'd like everyone to roll initiative, please.
It had to make him mad.
How does the initiative work again? You select your character token and then roll? Is that it? Gotcha, okay.
Oops.
Oh, guys, that's some low rolls right there.
There we go. Hmm.
Manage characters. Yes, yes. Save. Why is that? There we go. Alrighty. So, starting with Aiden, can I get your initiative order, please? Or not with Aiden. Aiden's gone. Earl, sorry. Take him out of the order.
13.
13. Katumi,
8.
8. 13, 8. Aiden can go. Rumble, how about you?
11.
11. And Vivian.
10.
All right. Love that. Nice spread. That Rumble can go there. And then Vivian can go there. And we are good to go at the top of the order. They are both going to make stealth checks as 2 of these creatures try and hide from you. What is everyone's passive perception?
17.
Okay.
Mine is 13.
Okay.
11.
13.
All right. Rumble, you manage to keep your eyes on them as they kind of dart up into the air, but they kind of hide amidst all the fog that is kind of currently billowing into this area. And you see them swoop down towards Vivian and Katumi. And they are going to... Vivian and Katumi, can you make me some dexterity saving throws, please?
Yeah. Nat 20.
8 again. Oh,
Okay.
why do you hate me today, Dice?
Katumi, you just got a bless. I don't know if that will make a difference for you. You literally just got a bless before you rolled.
Oh.
So that gives you
Wonderful.
a D4 on top if you want it.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
That was from the wonderful Juan, fellow half-orc.
D4. I will take that. So that's 10.
Okay. These 2 small winged creatures kind of swoop in, and Vivian, you feel them sort of tugging at something of yours and kind of shoulder them out of the way and kind of turn away before they can take anything. Katumi, you feel like something cut, and as you look down, one of these creatures is flying away with your bag of holding. They disappear again into the fog. They both provoke opportunity attacks as they go back into the fog. One from Vivian, one from Katumi.
Yeah, well, since I mentioned it and I haven't cast it yet, I am actually going to cast Toll the Dead, and that is a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Oof. Unsurprisingly unwise. That is a 10.
Nope, they failed. They had to get a 14.
Right.
6 damage.
6 points of damage. Love that. And then Vivian, if you'd like to take an opportunity attack on the other one before it gets away from you, you certainly can.
Sure would.
Rumble, this whole time, you're able to keep your eyes on these 2. You see where the one that took that bag of holding is and where the other one is, but they have disappeared from view after this.
I'm going to use my short sword.
Okay.
So that's 21 to hit.
Definitely hits.
And that is 5 damage.
5 damage. Okay. 5 on you, good sir. I'm just going to take them off the board until Rumble's turn. All right. Up next in the order, we got Earl, followed by one of these creatures, and then Rumble. Earl, you've just seen 2 of these creatures fly down in out of the fog. One of them looks like it got its hands on Katumi's bag before they flew away. They both got tagged on their way out, but there are a number 6 of them there are 6 of them on the other side of this clearing that are starting to move around. What are you up to?
Let me see. Okay, well, it would. Let me see here. If I'm remembering correctly, you can draw an object as part of your movement. Is that something, or am I misremembering?
Typically, if you want to draw and or sheath something, I'll just say it's a free action on your go. But if you want to do it like a couple times, then we might do bonus action, something like that. But yeah, if you just want to switch something out, you can just do it.
In that case, I would draw my light crossbow and take a shot, I guess.
All right. Which one would you like to shoot first?
Would I have a clear shot on the one that stole the bag of holding?
I would allow you to use a perception check as your bonus action if you'd like.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
I'll take that. 1 second. Hang on. Oh. Natural one.
Unfortunately, not this turn, Earl. But you do have eyes on 6 others.
Okay. I'm going to assume this one is the one that stole the bag of holding and aim my crossbow at it.
All right. Love it.
Okay. And I got a crit.
Oh wow! All right. Love it, love it, love it.
So it's max damage for. Is it?
Max damage plus your roll damage.
Okay, so first of all, I'll roll the regular damage, which is 8 damage.
Okay. Okay.
And then I also have my half orc ability of brutal
criticals, I think, yeah?
Brutal criticals, yeah. I think works on, I don't know if it, hang on 1 second here. I'm trying to find it. Here we are,
Savage attacks.
Savage attacks. Roll 1 of the damage, roll 1 of the weapons dice, 1 additional time, but add it to the extra damage.
Right.
Okay, so it shall be, hang on 1 second. There we go. And an extra 4 damage, so 12 damage straight up plus max for me, which would be, when you say max, is that plus the...
With your modifier, yeah.
Plus modifiers, yeah. Okay, so that's 12 plus 11, so a total of 23 points of damage, 23 points of piercing damage, non-magical.
All right. This guy, yeah? Okay. Yeah, that crossbow bolt, dead center of that chest, pierces straight through, and that creature just like shrieks out this awful, like high-pitched call as it just explodes and shards of ice fire out in all directions. Rumble, you're the only one close enough. Can you make me a dex saving throw, please?
Absolutely. That'd be an 18.
Alrighty. And you manage to avoid most of it as these like jagged shards of ice kind of like fly all around you. You would have taken 2 damage, but you're only going to take half, so 1 point of piercing damage. And that guy is gone. Alrighty. Anything else for you there, Earl?
Mm-hmm. And because of the impression I'm currently under, I will therefore use my movement to run over to where it died and look for the bag of holding.
Okay. And yeah, much to your dismay, it is not with that particular one.
Okay.
Which will bring us, actually, since that one is dead, which will bring us to Rumble. Rumble, I'm going to bring those 2 back out onto the board. So you've been able to keep eyes on them amidst the trees and the fog. The one with the bag of holding is right here. This one is also damaged. Oh, right there.
Sorry, the top one or the bottom one? I'm not seeing
the bottom one.
Bottom one, okay. And how high up in the air is he?
Not too far up. He's kind of in the top sort of branches of the trees, so 10 feet or so.
10 feet. Okay, so I'm like 8 foot, so I could probably jump that, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. You could jump that.
Okay, so I'm gonna jump up, and I'm just trying to grab the bag back. I'm not trying to attack this creature.
All righty. I think this is a grapple check. Yeah, go ahead.
So what's that for me? Acrobatics, is it? Or
I believe for the grappler, it has to be acrobatics. For the grapplee, acrobatics or athletics.
okay.
Sorry, I think I had that backwards. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
athletics for you. So whatever the modifier would be on that.
Okay, so yeah, just do you want me to roll again, or do you want to just take the 2 off?
No, you just take the 2 off.
Okay, so it'd be 19 instead. Sorry.
19. It is going to use Dex because it's pretty bad in both. Okay. It got a 21, unfortunately. Nat 20 plus 1, which really hurts. But yeah, no, you think you've got it. The last minute, it like almost seems to like phase a little bit. Your hands kind of go through, and it's just sort of flitting about up there still.
Damn. Well, there's not really a lot else I can do because that was my action. I used my bonus action to so as I grip my staff, it just hardens and gets a tiny bit shorter
Okay.
as I do the cantrip shillelagh and turn my staff into a whacking stick,
Love it.
as Chris Perkins would call it.
Yeah. Does it have? Is it like Booming Blade, where there's an attack as part of it, or is it just getting it ready?
That's just turning it into the thing, and then the action is to hit the thing, kind of thing.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so if that's it for you, now that Rumble has kind of found the one that has that bag of holding, those of you who are nearby have eyes on that one. The other one is going to disappear for now. Which brings us to the 2 at the top, who are going to swoop in. 1 down towards Earl and 1 down towards Vivian. Can you both make dex saves for me, please?
26 again.
Okay.
Not good. 6.
Okay. Okay. And yeah, Vivian, yet again, you see it just out of the corner of your eye. One of these creatures swoop in, its arms extended like it's trying to grab something from you, and you move out of the way. Earl, you're kind of focused with this crossbow at the moment, and that's when you feel little hands around your belt, and you kind of go down to like stop it, and this thing is already flying away with your sword. It is going to fly its remaining movement back up into the trees. It's got your weapon and you got your crossbow, but you do have an opportunity attack as it leaves your range.
Understood. I'll make that opportunity attack.
Please do.
Okay.
Thieving little buggers, aren't they?
Hang on. Okay. Just like I just have a reaction here. Yeah.
Yeah, I would take your reaction.
Okay. Can you use like a ranged weapon as an opportunity attack?
I think so. Let me double check.
Make. No. It says here
Melee only.
Use your reaction to make 1 melee attack against the creature. Darn. Okay.
If you'd like to punch it with your free hand, you can unarmed strike it.
Yeah, I'll punch it with my hand.
Yeah, do it.
Hang on. Only an 11 to hit.
That hits.
Okay, so I deal a straight up 6 points of damage to it.
Dang. Yeah, you clock this thing as it flies away with your sword. And maybe make it regret its decision just a little bit.
1 second here. Hang on.
Yep.
Let's see something here. Given I am using my fist here, I don't know if this is allowed or not, but could I attempt to grapple? It says here to grapple you, make the attack action to make a special melee attack?
I think on your turn for sure you can.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Just checking. Just checking.
Yeah, no, I don't think you can grapple as a. Oh, like in place of the unarmed strike?
Yeah, because it says it's you make a melee attack, and I was using my reaction to make a melee attack.
I don't hate that at all. Yeah, if you want to forego that 6 points of damage and say it was a grapple instead, I'll have it roll against it for sure.
Okay. So it says here strength athletics contested by the creature's strength athletics. So hang on. I'll make a strength athletics check. So it can use strength athletics or dexterity acrobatics to try and escape.
Oh, nice.
25. All right. Yeah, no, it beats him by a country mile. And yeah, it's like kind of this thing you're like going to throw the punch, like how dare you like take my stuff, and then you change your mind at the last minute, just grab it by the scruff of the neck, and you got it. It is not going anywhere. I've messed up my whole initiative order because I did a thing I shouldn't have, which is super fun.
Messing up your
Okay.
hole is a super bad thing to do, especially after a bad curry.
Took me a second. Okay. So Rumble had gone. Then those two went, which means that we are at Vivian and then Katanu up on deck.
All right. She's going to turn, and since she already had her short sword out, she's going to hit this one.
Okay.
That's a 16.
16 will do.
Right. And that's a 10.
10 points of damage. Very nice. All right. Takes that 10. It's a pretty glancing blow. Anything else for you?
Nope, that's it.
All righty. Which will bring us to Katumi and then the rest of these buggers before we get to the top of the order.
Alrighty, well, seeing as how it worked so well the first time, she is going to aim again at the one who's got her bag, which, mind you, the only thing in that bag is Doug's head.
Yes.
So if it gets lost and those things are found with it instead of her by Doug's wife, she's not too broken up about that. But it seems to be a nice bag. Those are kind of expensive, and instead of begging her father for one, she could always just use this one.
Sure.
So she's going to cast Toll the Dead at it again. So it's another wisdom saving throw.
Okay. That's a 12.
Nope, failed. So we're gonna do.
And it is already damaged, so that extra Toll the Dead damage kicks in now.
Yeah.
D12 instead of D10. D12 instead.
So yeah, so that's a D10 then, right?
Yeah.
Is it? Okay.
Kill it with the power of bells.
It's only 4 damage.
All right. Not going to kill it softly with your song yet, but maybe next time. All right. It is going to take that damage. It is still up, although, using some technical terms, you might call that one bloodied now. As well as the one that Earl's fighting, actually. There we go. Which will bring us to... Yeah?
Sorry. Doesn't Katumi still have her action? You said cantrips isn't cantrips
Yes, you're right. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Yes, Katumi, you still have your movement and your full action.
That being the case, then I am going to cast Magic Missile at it.
Love it.
That was a great catch, Jack.
Thank you
Yeah,
very much.
that was great. Thank you.
So then that's Oh, yeah, no, me too. But that's an additional 5 damage.
All right, 5 more damage. But you still have 2 more to roll because that only rolled 1 of the darts.
It did. Da, da, da.
5, 5, and 4. Wow. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that magic missile spell just pelts this creature. And when the third one hits, it drops the bag of holding, makes that awful screech, and explodes in this just shattering cloud of just jagged ice shards. I need Katumi, Rumble, and Vivian to all make dex saves, please.
She's doing it constantly. She's like, why do y'all die like this?
This is a weird way to die.
And it costs her because I rolled a 6.
All right. We got a 12 for Vivian, and that's 19 for Rumble there.
Yep.
Yeah, very dexterous gentleman for such a powerful build. All right, then in that case, Rumble, you take 1 more point of slashing damage. Vivian and Katami are going to take 2 each, as that one leaves this mortal coil. There you are.
I think there's something about your game, Craig, that makes me roll well.
Well,
I'm
happy to provide that for you. So,
yeah, can I then go grab my bag then?
Oh yeah, please do. Yeah. It is undamaged. The shard's vice didn't rupture it, which is a good news. Yeah, you got it. Any other movement for you? Anything like that on this turn?
No, just doing that and then looking for my next target.
Alrighty. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 of them dudes up next. Nope, 1, 2, 3, not 4. Because you are kaput now. There we go. 1, 2, 3. These are the 2 on the bottom who are going to swoop in. And Katmi, can you make me a dex save as one of them tries to snag your bag out of your hand?
This one worked. So that was a 23 with a nat 20. So I am just going to, with bag in hand, backflip out of the way.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? It was close. It rolled a 20, and like it you almost lost it again, but yeah, you turned out of the way at just the right moment. It wasted its turn doing that. Earl, I need a dex save from you as another one of these guys swoops down behind you and tries to take something else.
There's so many bag snatchers. I feel like I'm back in London.
11.
All right, and I'm pretty sure I rolled 2. No, I only rolled 1. Damn. Okay, it's a 19 plus 20. And so yeah, you got this one by the scruff of its neck as it's trying to fly away with your sword. You got the crossbow in the other hand, and you just feel like a weight lift off your back as your shield is now flying away with one of these guys on the opposite side. It is going to fly up into the tree boughs, still on the same round of combat, so your reaction is still taken up, unfortunately. Then the one that was hiding itself in the trees near Rumble, where actually Rumble, you're the only one who can see it, as it swoops down towards you, and it like shrieks and it exhales this just like cone of cold air that blasts out towards you. Can you make another dex save roll?
14.
So half damage again. That does save. So you're just going to take 3 points of cold damage, but I think you resist that, right? Or are you immune to that?
Should I be? I don't think I do. No.
No. Maybe I'm making things up. I thought you resisted it, but in that case, then yeah, with the save, that is 3 points of cold damage.
3 points. I'll check because you might know something about me I've forgotten.
I mean, I'll check. I'm good. I'm not that good. And now that one has revealed itself, It is now in the purview of everyone. Which will bring us back to Earl, my friend. You got a situation. You got your sword. You got this one by the neck. It's trying to take it. One's flying away from behind you with your shield. It's a mess. You can barely see. What are you up to?
Okay. Did the method grab my sword and my sheath, or did it just grab my sword?
No, I don't think it grabbed the sheath. I think it just like pulled it right out.
Okay. I'm assuming it would be 2 actions to try and pull the sword out of its grip.
Yeah, it would be an action to sort of grapple it out of its grip.
That's not going to work, is it? Okay. In that case, I'll drop my crossbow, and then draw a dagger from my side, and stab at the creature with my dagger.
Love it.
So, hang on here, 1 second. The creature is currently on the grappled condition.
Yes.
Does the grappled condition count as it being restrained or anything?
No, I think grappled and restrained are 2 different things.
Some conditions put another condition on a creature sometimes.
Let me double check. I don't believe so, but grappled creature's speed becomes 0. Can't benefit from any speed bonus. Condition ends only if they break it. I'm not seeing anything about restrained on it.
Okay. Okay, in that case, I'll just do regular old straight up attack then.
Love it.
I think the difference is if you're grappled, you can still attack but can't move. But if you're restrained, you can't even attack, if I remember rightly.
Fair enough. Okay, so 25 to hit.
Oh, for sure hits this boy. Yeah.
Okay, and for a total of max damage, 11 points of damage.
Nice. 11 points of damage. It takes that blow like a champ, considering. But you're getting the sense that this thing is just like hanging on by like a thread at this point.
Okay. Just checking here. Is there anything else I can? I don't think I can do anything. I don't think I can do anything else with my turn. Just checking here. Am I allowed to drag the creature with me if I move somewhere else?
For sure. I think typically, like if you're dragging something, it costs half movement. These things are so small, I don't think that it's going to cost me movement.
Okay. In that case, I'll drag it. I'll drag it and me and the creature towards this other one then.
Love
just
that.
Over here. Just over.
Just you're coming with me. Let's go. I love that. Okay. And will that be all for you?
That would be everything. Yes.
Okay. And I did the thing with D&D Beyond again, but that's fine. Okay, so one of the methods tangling with Vivian. They're gonna kind of fly up a little bit and exhale a cone of frost breath towards you and Katumi. Can I get you both to make a dex save?
$18.
Nice.
15.
Nice. Okay, both pass. So you're half 3 damage. We round up, so 2 points of cold damage. That is it for them, which will bring us to Rumble.
Okay. We got 3 of them around us. Everyone's looking kind of getting chipped away at. There's not really much I can do apart from try and hit this one. So the one that kind of blew the frost at me, I want to hit him. But can I do it in such a way as that I'm literally holding my shield like directly at it so that when I hit it, try and break some of the ice against the shield rather than us.
Okay, yeah.
Because they're quite small, right?
Yeah, I like that actually.
Let's see if I even hit first. 13.
13
You know
will
what?
hit.
Oh, it does hit. I was going to say, if it doesn't hit, I'll use a bless, but I'm glad it does. So the damage will be a whopping 8.
8 points of damage coming right in on this method. Not enough to take it down though.
Okay. Yeah, there's nothing else I can do. Kind of spent at this point.
All right. I've learned that I literally cannot touch anything on D&D Beyond or else it's going to mess up with my initiative order here. There we go. Okay, Rumble is gone, which means that's backwards. There we go. We have one of these methods and then Vivian and then Cut. This one is going to... The other one that is with you there, Vivian, is going to swoop down and it is just going to lash out with these just kind of jagged, icy claws. Does a 15 hit you?
It equals out, so I'm assuming so, yes.
Yeah, tie
I have a
goes to the
15.
runner. Yeah. All right. And it's going to find just like a weak space between your clothing. It's going to do 2 points of slashing damage. And as those claws kind of drag through, there's a coldness that follows. You can take another 4 points of cold damage. And then that will bring us to you with Katami on deck.
All right, so she's quite irritated.
Sure.
So she's going to come back and hit that one with her short sword.
Love it.
Hopefully. Yeah, not 20.
Natty 20. Hey, all right. Yeah. Smoke this fool.
Right? So that's 5 damage.
Plus your max.
Plus my max. Okay, so max is 10. So 15.
Yeah, you bring down the sword on this thing. I just kind of in like annoyance retaliating against this one. And the sword just breaks straight through its body and it explodes under the weight of that. And I need you and Vivian and Rumble to make dex saves, please.
Sorry,
21.
Rumble.
21.
Damn, Rumble.
I don't know why. I don't know why. The dexes are quite good this evening, apparently.
19.
And the 13 caught me. Everyone saves, which is the good news. Bad news is it does max damage, so half of that is 4 points of slashing damage.
All right.
And then any bonus action movement for you there, Vivian?
Can I hit the other one that's like right here, or is that not bonus action? Oh, never mind. Bonus action. Nope, I have nothing.
Okay. All right. Then in that case, Katami, you're getting just like hit by icy shards that are probably not doing anything great to your outfit right now. How are you doing?
No, my coat is very just shredded and I'm very annoyed by it. So how are these things like flying above us or where
Yeah,
exactly
they're flitting
are
around kind of like bat-like around you.
I am in order to ensure that I hit, I'm going to cast Magic Missile again at
Love it.
This one right here.
I did not see a ping. If there was one, is it the one right up there with you, or?
Yes, yeah. Why ping? It's not, but yes, that one.
Okay, awesome.
So we're gonna do 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
All right, 2, 5, I got 2 of them. I'm looking for 1 more.
D20. Roll 20 is not. There we go. All right, so 2, 5, and 2 for a total of 9 damage.
All right, that one takes 9 more points of damage. Still not quite enough to take it down, but definitely bloodied now.
That's okay, because I still have my bonus action, and I am going to use Sacred Flame, which is a dex save.
Love that. I wish I could roll dex saves like Rumble today. These guys are not doing. 16.
That one does beat it, yeah.
Hey.
So then it's half damage. So then it takes another 4.
And as this sort of searing, brilliant light kind of shines around it, it just like explodes again. I need Rumble, Vivian, and Katami to make dex saves, please.
We're gonna have to fail at some point.
So
21.
annoying.
Yes.
Oh no. An 8.
16.
Alrighty, Rumble and Vivian passed, taking 2 points of slashing damage. Vivian, you're going to take 4 on this turn. So that one goes down.
Oh shit.
Which? Any movement for you now? Actually, caught me now that you don't have anything immediately engaged with you.
Can I see this other one over here by Earl?
Yeah, you can see both of them as you're like kind of looking over there. Earl is like quite literally dragging one through the air as he's going after one that's kind of got its shield and is flying away from it.
All right, so I guess with my magic, I don't actually have to go anywhere, but just in case I want to take a swing at it, yeah, I'll move just a little bit closer to it.
Love it. And it gets to go next. It is going to take a disengage action. And it's going to fly its full movement. And it is going to try and hide in the trees, diving down beneath the tallest branches as it kind of continues to move through with its bonus action. All right. For the moment, it passes out of view, but you know that it can't have gotten too far on this turn. Which will bring us to the one that is currently being grappled by Earl, and the one that Rumble is currently fighting off. The one that Earl is grappling is going to try and break the grapple. So Earl, could you please roll athletics for me?
Understood.
It's got a 1. It's probably not going to go anywhere.
I rolled a natural 1 for a total of
Oh,
8.
it got a 16.
Oh.
And as you kind of see the one like fly off into the bush and kind of behind a tree with your shield, you're like, get back here, and you're kind of distracted, and your grip slips on the other one as it kind of flies up, and it doesn't get out of your reach, and in fact, it uses your short sword against you. And it is going to 13. I don't think hits, eh?
No, 13 doesn't hit.
Okay. Then yeah, it is going to continue threatening you with your own weapon, and that is going to be it for all of the methods. Oh, I got to do the one by Rumble, which is going to attack with claws.
Okay.
For an 8 to hit, which is not going to do anything. Which brings us back over to Earl.
Okay.
And then, yeah.
Okay. Quick question here, by the way. Is Katumi currently in this square here or this square here? Because it's currently
kind of in between, eh?
There.
Oh, my grid's a little bit off.
Okay.
We'll say
Okay.
Here.
Yes,
Okay.
that's the one I'm trying to be in.
I'm just curious because if the Mephit was flying past her and it didn't make as far as I could tell, do any movements to like fly up above her? Could she have
Yeah,
gotten an
it
opportunity
was.
attack?
I think that, yeah, Katami, if you'd like, as that method flies by, I think you were positioned right to take your reaction if you'd like, and make an opportunity attack against it.
Sure, I'll throw a firebolt at it.
Yeah. Oh, it's got to be a melee weapon, unfortunately.
Yeah. Oh, it's got to be a melee. Then I will swing my axe. That is perfectly fine. I've been wanting to do that for a minute anyway.
Right on.
Axe, baby.
That's a 17.
Definitely hits.
Let's see, and then that's going to be 1d12 plus 3, so 9 damage.
9 points of damage on the shield boy. All right, we'll take that before kind of flying into the nearest tree and at sight for the moment. Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Sorry, Earl, I'm a terrible person. Did you take an action?
I haven't taken my
yeah, okay, I
haven't taken my action yet. No. Okay. Okay, so it's not grappled any longer.
It is still engaged with you. You could still maybe get a hand on it if you'd like. But yeah.
Okay. I'm just going to use my straight up make another dagger attack at it, I guess.
Okay.
Unless there's something else I can. Nothing else I can think of. Okay. Straight up attack then. Actually, you know what? I've got nothing to lose. I'm going to just straight up move out of its reach.
Okay.
And up to, I think, are each of these 5 feet?
Yes.
Okay, in that case, I'll move. So let's see, I was here, so 10, 20.
Got a big
25.
6 on the opportunity attack, so it misses you again.
30 feet away from it. And then I'm going to throw my dagger at it.
Love it.
This could go very badly, but especially if I missed. But huzzah! I get a 9. I get 26.
For sure, that's gonna hit.
Okay. And for a total of 9 points of damage.
All right, yeah, that dagger dead center again. It just cracks it here on this Mephit's body, and it explodes. The only one close enough. Katami, can you make me a dex save, please?
How am I still close enough to these things?
It's a 15-foot area. Sorry.
Nope. I guess because my back is turned, I rolled a 7.
Yeesh. As a particularly large shard of ice connects it right in the meat of the shoulder there for 8 points of slashing damage. And that, yeah. Earl, anything else for you? That one is down. Your sword falls to the snow and just kind of buries tip down. It has been recovered.
Well, normally I would run triumphantly along, grabbing all my stuff that I've dropped so far, which is currently my crossbow, my dagger, and my short sword. Yes. But as it happens, I don't have any movement left because I spent 30 feet of movement, so that's the end of my turn.
Alrighty, we will get to that shortly. It has deleted you from the order, but I know, Rumble, you are up next.
Okay. Just briefly looking over my shoulder, how bad does Vivian look?
Pretty bad.
That's what you figured. I don't know if you're allowed this, Craig, but I'll try it anyway. Essentially, I want to make sure that I'm in between Vivian and this creature.
Okay.
And because of my size, I'm hoping I would basically shield her, and I'm going to try and take this creature out.
All right, love it.
Hopefully hitting for 26.
Oh, you're gonna hit it.
Oh, I'm gonna hit it hard. 10 points.
Yeah, you hit it hard enough. That one explodes under the weight of your blow. You do shield Vivian from it. I do need a dex save from you, though.
It won't matter. Rumble just turns around and you see that on his slate.
Oh, no.
He is down.
No.
Oh, and it only rolled 1 point of damage as well. Okay. All right. Yeah. With as Rumble starts to have some real bad vibes on the ground here as he loses consciousness. That one is down as well. But Vivian, you've been spared any damage from that latest explosion. So selfless. That was beautiful. Which will bring us to the method you're currently fighting, Vivian, and then you are up next. And it is just going to... It's going to try and recharge its frost breath, actually. And it gets it. So yeah, it is going to use that. Could you make me another dex save there, Vivian?
No. 13.
13 will do. Half damage. Half of 2 is 1. 1 point of cold damage. And that is it. Vivian, you're up next with Katami up after you. Rumble has just kind of gone down. You've seen Earl just took care of one and is working his way to recovering his belongings. One of them with Earl's shield has flown into a tree nearby. Katami's just taken a pretty big hit, but there's only appears to be a couple of these things left. So what are you up to?
Okay, so how bad does the one in front of me look?
It looks about a solid hit away from being no more.
Bear in mind that if you did hit it, that might incur damage upon Rumble.
Yeah,
which
that's what I
would I think it's 2 failed death saves if you get damage dealt to you while you're hit.
Yeah,
And it would automatically
very
hit
fair
him
assumption to make.
he's unconscious.
So she's gonna ignore the person because she's almost down herself. So instead of saving herself, she's gonna pull out a potion and a healing potion and pour it in Rumble's mouth, and then she's going to really quickly say thank you and then kind of duck down.
Okay. Potions are going to be a bonus action, so you do have your action if you'd like to take it.
All right. Well, then she's going to take 2 bonus actions if she can as an action, and take a potion for herself as well.
Yeah, sure. You can use your action to take another potion, sure.
All right. So I will roll first for Rumble. So that's 7 for him.
Nice.
Then I got to get that cleared off. And then I'm going to roll 1 for myself. And that is 5 for me. All right.
Okay. All right.
And that's my turn.
Katami, my friend, you've just taken a fairly big hit. Most of these creatures around you are dealt with. One has flown into a nearby tree with Earl's shield, and Vivian seems to be dealing with the one up there with Rumble. You see her kind of tending wounds. Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
I love that.
So I am going to cast Cure Wounds on myself because I hurt right now.
Sure.
So that's gonna bring me back up. So it's 6 for a total of 7. Ugh. And then, since I don't know where this other creature is, but I'm angry, I am just going to cast Sacred Flame at the trees it flew into.
Okay.
And potentially alert other things to where we are. But in the moment, the fact that they're exploding and hurting us, we won the fight and they're still getting some hits is very irritating to me. So she's just gonna burn down part of the forest.
All right.
So that's 1d8 of radiant damage to these trees, since I'm assuming they can't make dex saves.
Yeah, the trees are for sure gonna fail. And you can't see it, but that method hasn't moved either, so it's gonna get that dex save. So for a 14.
So that's 7 damage to the trees of radiant damage. So they should at least be on fire.
Yeah, I like that a lot, actually. Yeah, the method itself kind of avoids the initial flash of this radiant light, but then as the branches around it start to catch fire, I'm just gonna have to make a dex save now. This might be it for him. Oh my gosh, 19. So he's gonna take half damage. All right, still up, unfortunately. But now, as the branches are kind of burning away, it is revealing this creature. Its hiding space is no longer secure, and for the moment, you've all got eyes on it. So I will
That's
bring him
okay.
back.
But since I am not close to it, I am actually going to use my movement to go check on Rumble. And I can do that without like an opportunity attack because I think I'm far enough away.
Oh yeah, you're way in the clear.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna head over here and see how they're doing.
All right. And they both look a little banged up, but you see Vivian kind of tending to them with potions, and Rumble's getting back up on his feet. They seem like they're doing okay. All right. So that is caught to me, and the only one left is the one in the trees, and that one is going to try and hide. Gets a dirty 20. So it is going to hide.
Which one's this one? This one or the one next to us?
The one in the trees there, the one with the shield.
Okay.
And then it is going to use some movement. And that is going to be its turn. Which brings us back to Earl. Oh, I think you're muted. Yeah.
I'm going to move 10 feet here and pick up my crossbow, which I believe was here. So I've moved actually 20 feet there.
Yeah, everything's probably within, like a 5-foot radius of there. Your sword, your dagger, your crossbow, you can grab those, no problem.
Okay, and then currently from that tree, I'm about 35 feet away. It would have moved about 30 feet in its turn. So I have hang on 1 second here. I have a range of about 80 feet, so I should be able to get it. So if I can see it in the next couple turns, I should be fine. Okay, I'm gonna make a perception check, see if I can see this guy anywhere.
For sure, yeah.
I'm probably gonna fail this, but oh, not bad actually. 21.
21 will do. Yeah, and that'll just be your bonus action to try and find it. And it's not actually that far away. So only seems to have moved about 15, 20 feet away.
Okay, in that case, I will move another. Hang on. I'll move another 10 feet closer and take a and. Do I still have an action, or was the perception check my action?
No, that'll just be your bonus. You still have your full action.
Sure, yeah. Okay. I'm not complaining. Okay. Yeah. Wow, I'm doing pretty well today. 22 to hit.
For sure hits.
For
double his armor class.
Darn. Just for 4 damage.
And that 4 damage is enough to finish it off. You see the crossbow will connect and it explodes. This time harmlessly, doesn't hurt anyone. That shield falls down, hits the ground. Looks like it hasn't been damaged either.
Huzzah!
Leaving just one left to deal with. I think you've got. No, do you have any more movement, or are you spent?
I'm out of movement right now.
Okay, no problem. In which case, next up will be Rumble, and then the Mephit, and then Vivian.
Okay, so Rumble stands up. He knows that this is the last one. Yeah. Can he basically push the other two back, stand in between, and take another shot?
All right, love it.
So what he'd do, like, he'd want to protect them as much as possible, but he wants to take this fucking thing out.
Sure, yeah.
For a 22.
22 will hit.
For 13 damage.
Dang, Rumble, 13, okay. 13
Tonight I've been
dang.
rolling pretty good. I'm feeling good about this game.
Yeah, no, 13 will do, with one final horrible firework-like explosion. I need Katumi, Vivian, and Rumble to make dex saves, please.
Oh, now I failed the deck save. God damn it. I was trying to block them as much as possible, which is I stood in between, so I don't know if that helps them at all.
I still, yeah, I guess I am.
I was essentially trying to stand in between the two, like all of you.
Yeah, so we'll
15.
Okay, so they stave. Rumble standing in the way. Yeah, okay. So with Rumble in the way and those saves, Rumble will just take damage on this. 1 point of slashing.
Happy to take just 1 point.
Yeah, just one little icy morsel for you. Which does kind of calm things down and bring us out of initiative once again.
Thank you for the follow, Catsy Ratty.
And we are about an hour and a half in, a little bit longer now. As we come out of initiative, why don't we take our little break here? We'll get back to in like 5-10 minutes, and then we'll finish up the day.
Sweet.
All right, welcome back, everyone, to Rime the Frostmaiden, episode 3. We're just going to jump right back in. Our party has just finished dealing with a small gang of ice methods that, made their lives difficult, tried to steal their stuff for a little bit, but ultimately were defeated without getting away with any of the party's sweet, sweet loot. So we're going to go from here. Somebody roll, let's say, Kachi. You want to roll me 2 d20s, please?
Sure.
Can I give guidance?
I mean, if you want.
It's an 11 and a 6.
Okay, 11 and a 6.
I don't know what they were for, but I'm guessing that's not great.
It'll be anytime I ask for like 2d20, it's probably for a random encounter. In this case, you'll be very glad to know, everyone, that the rest of your journey back to Goodmead is undisturbed. Nothing else tries to hurt you. Nothing else gets in your way. You actually start making pretty good time. Before the end of a couple hours, you find yourself coming out of the forest and back into the city of Goodmead. I'll just throw your tokens up there real quick.
I think from double timing the movement and dragging this cart, and obviously what happened in the fight and stuff, I think by the time we get to the mead hall with the casks, Rumble's just gonna like face plant on the ground, just like, I'm done.
Yeah, and you're actually like kind of cheered on as the residents of Goodmead see you coming back with this sled with all the casks of mead. There's a bit of a party mood in the air as you kind of roll back into town with these things, and there are kind of people chatting on your way down to the mead hall that they're talking about a wake for the speaker that's going on tonight, and It's supposed to be like a town-wide, very sort of raucous event. But yeah, you get down to the mead hall without anyone really stopping you, other than the like occasional congratulations, and, like thanking you, and shows of appreciation for defending the town and kind of retaliating after the death of the speaker. Speaking of the speaker, as you kind of get to that mead hall and you finally set down that sled there, Rumble, that all of you notice that his body, the speaker's body, has been laying out at this shrine, this god with this flaming sword that's down by the shore. And there are a number of people all paying their respects and lighting candles and leaving offerings of flowers, food, and gold pieces. And it's a sort of very solemn scene down there, but as people are finished paying their respects and kind of turning around, that somber sort of vibe begins to turn into one of excitement and anticipation for this celebration of a life tonight. So your time is your own. You've got the rest of the day. It's still pretty early, actually, if you wanted to maybe get a rest and head off somewhere else, or if you wanted to just spend the rest of the day here in town, whatever you guys like.
Vivian would like to look around, and if, depending on the party, if we were going to take a long rest before leaving out, great. If not, she's going to look around for some, what's the word I'm looking for? Some people that look like they either don't belong or they look like they are up to some bad mischief.
Okay. Give me a perception check.
Nat 20, 23.
Interesting. Nat 20. Okay. So you're gonna notice two things. The first thing you notice is that with all the people sort of out, either paying the respects or planning for this party that's happening tonight, no one's really paying attention to the residential houses that are the residential houses. That all houses are residential, but the residential buildings in this city. And looking down an alley, you see like a very small creature, like humanoid, 2 arms, 2 legs, very, very, very tiny, think like very tiny almost. And they're wearing this sort of makeshift coat made out of like straw and feathers, little bits of twigs, and they are hauling what looks like a bag of like cutlery and cups out of a house, and looks like they're trying to make off with them. Closer to the mead hall, you see something a little less obvious. There are a group of people kind of standing outside the mead hall, mostly dwarven, most of them kind of dressed like lumberjacks. It kind of looks like a lot of the same ones that you saw the night previous by the mead hall. And they're speaking with, there are 4 of them, they're speaking with a 5th dwarf who is dressed in very fine clothing, like very, he gives off a impression of station. Can you give me a history check?
Oof. That's a 4.
Yeah, there is something familiar about this gentleman, and you're almost certain that you yourself have seen him before, but you're not putting your finger on it at the moment. And as you're paying closer attention to this, he's giving a bit of a speech, as though like he's already launching his campaign to be the next town speaker, and the wake hasn't even started yet, and he's talking about how loggers' rights and how Goodmead should be getting paid more for all of their wood and meat exports, and how the other towns are taking advantage of them, and how they need someone who is like cunning and shrewd to lead, and who's able to kind of tangle with the other speakers and get Goodmead its fair share. And whether or not that's the truth is kind of questionable. Goodmead seems to be doing pretty well, but he seems to be attempting to kind of ignite a sort of indignant passion in all of these loggers. Just kind of this like, we need to rally behind this guy. But yeah, there is something familiar about him. You're just not putting. You can't figure out where you've seen him before. So yeah, that is kind of the less obvious thing, and then you see that small creature outright like robbing a house. And as you're watching, it's kind of like it's like really small compared to the bag of like forks and cups, and it's like just heaving, pulling this thing very slowly around the corner and into an alley behind the house.
She's going to see all that and look to the party and say, before we split off, I have some information for you that I found out the other night while I was gone. I went to check with a patron about the murders going on that we've been looking for, and she's kind of talking a little hush-hush. Anyway, this patron told me that there was a mention of a young lady who was killed in Targos. Sylvia, I hope I'm saying that right, Sylvia Heartstone, was supposed to be put up for the monthly sacrifice. But her father paid the Temple of Earl a handsome sum of gold to change the draw. And then, so evidence was present that she had defended herself, and a human man named, I am not going to be able to pronounce that.
Stefik is his first name.
Stefik. Okay, Stefik Keltro was seen fleeing the scene of the crime, although nothing was discovered to link him to these murders. So I know that there has been a rampage of murders in the area, but that is the lead that we have for that. And she's going to kind of look at your guys' face for any recognition of the name, anything, shock.
And actually, I think like a moment passes after like the name is said, and you all kind of, that same bell rings in all your heads. Sefik was mentioned by Lynn last night when you met with her. He is a member of Torg's caravan, and there was already reason to suspect that he was involved in some way.
Okay.
So I guess if we want to solve these murders, he would be our next person to entertain with questions. But before we do such things, I either need to take a small rest or go on a small adventure for a moment.
Katami is going to look at the group and say, I should probably go and pay my respects to the speaker. And then I'm also going to take a rest. So she goes over, she does what she needs to. She says a small prayer, not really to any god in particular, just in general. And then she goes back into the meat hall, which I'm assuming is slightly boarded up.
Yeah, the repairs have begun. The most damage done was by that large spear, which has been moved from the wall and sort of boarded up. But yeah, it's a work in progress.
Yeah. She's going to just sort of wave to Core, go up to her room, grab the letters that she wrote early this morning. She's going to make a small amendment in one, and then she's going to send them off. She wrote a letter to her father, her mother, and then she wrote the same letter twice to her girlfriends.
I love that.
The one to her mom kind of gives her information, is a bit straightforward. It's not formal, but she does try to sound like more grown up than she normally does, because she is trying to like impress her mom and tell her about all the things that she's doing and how she's trying to be more responsible adult and not just a pretty face. Her dad's letter is more like all these crazy exploits, and then she mentions about how she, decapitated the Verbeeg. Oh, she did put Doug's head down on the thing there. Like, I killed this thing and I brought it back. This is the thing that killed you. I have avenged you, sir.
There is like a very loud cheer from all of the people currently paying their respects as you set this head down by the shrine. People are just like amazed that you've brought this thing back, and there are like whispers that you're noticing just like amongst the crowd, like, you know, she's really strong, and she avenged the speaker. Maybe she should be speaker. And like, it looks like a couple people are like agreeing with this, and like, you know, they're debating it. It's like, oh, we've seen her before, we know her, and you know, that's maybe, you know, I don't know if she's interested, that sort of thing. But the entire crowd, despite whether or not they're talking about this, are all very, very pleased to see this offering that you've brought. And Core is very happy to send those letters out for you.
I think the one that was the most it was harder to write, but it was because they're her best friends. Because in the letter to her dad, she left out like the parts where she got hurt really bad. But in the letter to her friends, she definitely wrote that in there. And because when it comes to her pageants, she is really petty.
Sure.
And she put in the letter, in case I don't come back from this adventure, make sure Galadriel knows that if she wins any pageants following my death, there will always be an asterisk next to her name because she never actually beat me.
Oh, I love that. Oh, that's so fun. Okay.
So yeah, she has those sent out so her dad can kind of look out for these people. So her mom can look out for them, and also just everybody kind of be prepared for whatever is going to happen next while she moves on to the next part of her mission. Then she's going to go in her room and take a nap after she's going to mend her outfit again, and she's going to take a nap. It's like, I need to rest. This is a lot.
For sure. And kind of as you hand those letters off to Core, there is also like a bit of an exchange here. She said, look, I know we didn't agree on this, but you've done us great service. You know, if that meat hadn't come back, we wouldn't be able to send it out. We wouldn't make a lot of money off it. And frankly, that this town needs all the money it can get right now. But I do want to show you all some sort of token of appreciation. So it's not much, but here. And she hands you a little satchel that's got 30 gold pieces for each of you in it.
Oh, you didn't have to do that. They boasted a hole through your building. Are you going to be able to get that fixed without this?
Oh, of course. No. I mean, you're not the only one who knows how to cast mending. We'll take care of it. Don't worry.
All right. So I'll be in my room. Let me know if you need an extra pair of spelling hands. And then she's gonna go and just pass out.
All right.
She's just gonna take the whole thing, and she'll pass out the money later. Like, it's not going anywhere. It's with her. So she's just gonna go sleep now.
Love that. Rumble and Earl, what are the two of you up to?
Rumble can go first.
So what time of day is this?
It's not that late in the day. It's only about noon. So we're kind of in the darkest period of the day right now.
Okay.
Yeah, the stars aren't out yet, and last night's aurora has just finished fading. So it's just kind of this dark, cloudy, lightless sky at the moment. You've only been gone for a few hours.
Do I, how to word this? Do I remember the phase from last night?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, no, the new moon was it was not too long ago, actually. It was only 3 days ago. So, you know, it is still waning at this point. It hasn't quite hit half yet.
Okay. going forward, he's definitely keeping a watch of that for his stargazing and stuff, and to make sure that he keeps a record of when that's coming up, kind of thing.
Sure.
He'll probably spend a little bit of time, because seeing that everyone's kind of drifted off a little bit, just to have a bit of downtime this evening. He's gonna watch the people at the shrine a little bit, kind of just trying to take in other people's like kind of ceremonies and stuff, especially for something like this.
Mm-hmm.
And then towards the later end of the evening, when it's starting to kind of, the stars are coming out again, kind of thing, he'll probably come and like kind of sit at the end of the dock and just kind of look out to the stars and stuff. Now, the other thing is, when he woke up that morning, his staff, especially the crystal that he has in the middle of his staff, seemed to be glowing in a different way than what he's used to. So he's going to be spending some time trying to work out what that is as well.
Okay. So first of all, with these people sort of paying their respects, watching it, you're able to pick up some stuff. Can you give me a religion check real quick?
Of course. 11.
11?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so yeah. The final sort of piece of the architecture going on here in Goodmead, which is, if you remember, like all this like very decorative carved wood on the outsides. You recognize that this is a shrine to Tempest, who's known as the Lord of Battles, is a god of battle and war, and particularly honorable battle. And the way that the speaker's been set up here, you can see in his hand, he's got a holy symbol of Tempest, and kind of implies that like he was a worshiper. And you see a lot of people not just leaving, golden supplies, but small daggers and weapons and things that a soldier might need in the afterlife. And there is not like, as much as this town is kind of hyping up for a celebration of life, the people who are spending time and like really doing the work in terms of like paying their respects at this shrine, there is not a dry eye at the house. This is a huge blow for this city, and as much as people are already talking about who might come to replace Speaker Kendrick, this is going to be something hard for the people to let go of, and they are really kind of taking the time to make sure that this man is honored in death. And you overhear that his body will be left here to decompose, as is kind of the traditions of that faith. The warriors remain, stay until they're just bones, and then they are buried or else otherwise kind of disposed of. And that is kind of like what you're picking up by the shrine right now.
Okay, so yeah, go on.
No, go ahead, please.
So when Rumble initially works out who the statue's to, he can't help but let out a kind of little snigger based off of other like towns and stuff that he's visited. The idea of a politician being a soldier and worthy of this being kind of a ridiculous idea to him. It's usually very much the opposite is what he's found. But then he composes himself and respectfully watches on. And can I see if I can find any particular pretty fauna around that I could maybe pick and put onto the edge of the shrine?
Yeah, it's actually fairly abundant in Goodmead around, particularly around the meadery. But the kind of small clusters of forest in the center of town are decorated with these multicolored flowers and plants. They're all quite beautiful, actually.
Okay. And I'm also making sure to take the oldest of the flowers so that I'm not destroying young flowering flowers as such.
It's very responsible of you. I love that. Yeah, laying these down, paying your respects despite kind of your thoughts on politics and soldiers. Moving on down to that dock and sitting down. The stars won't be out for some time, but there is a calmness that you find sitting over this frozen lake. And that's when you feel like a little nudge kind of by your thigh as you're sitting there, and you look down and that Arctic fox is sitting there right beside you and just kind of looking up at you and kind of cocks its head over to the side and just kind of looking at you.
I'm gonna give him a little bit of a ruffle, and then I'll take out a ration, and I'll share it with him while we're just sitting there, watching over the dock.
And kind of jumps up, curls up on your lap, and is snacking away on this little ration that you've given it, and have a very nice sort of moment after a very stressful morning.
Perfect.
Earl, what are you up to during this part of the day?
Okay, I've had to think about this. Earl will first and foremost, is there any sort of general store in town?
There is. It operates out of the mead hall. They've got sort of basic supplies and rations there on hold for people passing through town.
Okay.
Yeah.
How sort of technical would me doing some shopping be? If I wanted to buy things, could I just specify a few quick things here from the player's handbook, or would it be the chance they wouldn't have them in stock?
Would depend. Good mead is not sort of a huge place for shopping. There is really just like the one store, but depending on what you're looking for, they may have it. So yeah, go ahead, give me a quick list there.
Okay. Well, first and foremost, I don't expect much luck on this, but I was looking to see if maybe I could find any sort of mount, and I know that's unlikely. Specifically,
give me an investigation check, actually, because you very well might.
Fair enough. Not very good at these, but still. A total of 14.
14. You are in luck, my friend. There is indeed not one, but two mounts available. There is a gentleman that's kind of tying up a couple very large, almost like chocobos, if you know them from Final Fantasy, like almost like big ostrich looking kind of birds with a little bit of a thicker build and sort of white plumage. You would recognize them as axe beaks. They are a very common mount here in the Dale. These flightless birds that, they are predatory, but if they're trained right from birth, they are very excellent mounts.
Okay.
And talking to him for a moment, the owner of these two axe beaks does mention that they are for sale. The younger and healthier, frankly looking one, would cost about 50 gold, and then the other one, which looks like a little bit run down, a little bit older, he'd be willing to let go for 30 gold.
30 gold? In that case, I would take him up and buy the 30 gold one.
And he would have, and he would have saddles and all that ready to go. I will throw the stat block for you in the Roll20 right now.
Sure. I'll add it on D&D Beyond here, which I can do quite easily. There we go. Okay. Okay. And then the other things are a few things that are a bit more easy to find, I'd imagine. Next, I'd want to get to see if I can find somewhere that would sell me a hooded lantern and some oil to light the aforementioned lantern.
Oh yeah, no. For sure they would have that at the mead hall. Let me just
Very
check
good.
here. Yeah, so the hooded lanterns are the 5 gold pieces, and then the oil, I believe, is 1. Let me double check. Feel like it might be less. Silver piece for a flask of oil, and then 5 gold pieces for the lantern. They've got lots of oil, so as much as you'd like.
Okay, I will buy I'll buy 4. I'll buy 4 flasks from them.
Okay.
So that's 6 silver. Take away 1 gold. Okay, and then let's see here. I'm also looking to see if I can find a grappling hook for sale.
Will she have that? Yeah, Cora also has a grappling hook. Yes, she does. And for a very reasonable 1 gold piece, she'll let go of that for you.
Very good. Okay. Okay. I also inquire. Does he have any? Does he have any silk rope?
Ooh. Silk rope specifically, eh? Let's see. She's got lots of hemp and no silk, unfortunately.
Darn. Well. Okay, so hang on, just let's check here. Okay, 2 more things then. First of all, I would like to see I for some reason have 2 sets of common clothes. I would like to see if I could maybe trade those in for a set of traveler's clothes, because I think they're more like the clothes I have right now aren't really very suited for the cold weather.
Okay, for a set of cold weather clothing. Okay. I don't see any reason why they wouldn't want to do that. Let's see if they have some. They do have some. And the price difference is probably pretty. Ooh, it's actually like quite a bit. So yeah, the common clothes, you're kind of asking around, your best value you're going to get for them is like a few silver pieces, whereas this cold weather clothing, this heavier cloak and wool clothing underneath, and a hat, and goggles, and fur-lined boots and gloves, it costs about 10 gold pieces. So they're not super willing to make that trade.
Okay. Hang on. Okay, quick question. The session before this, I remember that the dwarf lady, she gave us some money, didn't she? Which we put into the group inventory.
She did, yes.
I just want to check. I'm just gonna
Was I good and put it in the loot? I may have. I may not have. I did not.
I might be getting confused. I might be thinking of the money that we got for the Yeti stuff. I could be getting things.
Oh, that might be the case.
Getting confused. Yeah. I would then make a quick trip back and collect my share of the money from that, which it was 90 gold. So I'm gonna just take Well, hang on.
So it was 30 gold pieces each. That was collected from core. So yeah, you could keep 20 of that and get yourself some cold weather clothing.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll spend 10. I'll spend 10 gold and buy myself some cold weather clothing.
Love that.
And then,
so yeah, the thing with cold weather clothing, just sort of mechanically, so long as it remains dry, it's where it automatically succeeds on saving throws against the effects of extreme cold.
Very good. And then finally, I want to see if anyone has like a decent sized box that would be quite hard, that would be quite sturdy and hard to escape from. Because I couldn't help thinking when I was fighting the Maffet, it would be useful to have some sort of way of trapping a creature like that.
Oh,
So,
like a little
like that.
box.
Yeah, it's like
Okay. How big of a box are you looking for? Because I'm sure you could find a well-made box here in town.
one like roughly equivalent to the size of like a lantern.
Okay.
One that would.
Yeah, no, I don't
solve
think that'll
creatures.
cost very much at all. I think that'll run you like 10 silver pieces. But yeah, it's a well-made box, roughly the size of a method or a lantern that you could potentially trap something in.
Very good. Okay. So with all that done, Earl will head back to the. We'll head back to the. What's the place called again? The Good Meat Hall. Meat Hall.
Yeah, the meat hall. Yeah.
He will head back there and sit down and have a drink.
Love
He
that.
only needs a short rest because all he's lost is 4 hit points and his action surge. So he's
Not bad.
So he sits back. Okay, so just so I get this right, I got traveler's clothing, a grappling hook, a hooded lantern, oil.
Yep.
What was the other thing again? The axe beak.
The axe beak, yeah.
There was something else, wasn't there?
Oil, lantern, grappling hook, axe beak, box.
Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah.
That's me. That's me then. Sorry if it took a while.
No, that's great. No, shopping's a part of it. Vivian, did you decide to rest at the mead hall, or are you going to go on your little adventure there?
Since Tumi said that she was going to go rest, she's going to go rest too, since she was out all night.
Okay. In that case, are Katumi and Vivian? Are you going for the full long rest? Are you going to sleep?
Yes.
Okay.
She's been up since about 4 a.m. You said it was about noon, and she spent the majority of that in full activity, whether it was doing yoga or fighting for her life. She's knocked out.
Love that. In which case, the remainder of the day passes. You can all mark yourself down for a long rest, which means I'm happy to announce you can all level up to level 3.
Hey.
Can I just say very quickly, as it's getting dark, just to kind of light his way back to along the dock to make sure he doesn't fall in, when he does the produce flame, he notices something shine from the staff, especially the new crystal.
Okay.
And he decides to project the light through the crystal. And as it hits the floor, a map of all the stars around that he's been making maps of actually starts glowing on the ground.
Actually, can you make me a quick perception check, actually?
Nat 1 for an 8.
Nat 1. Okay. Yeah, no, it is a beautiful representation of the stars, and unfortunately, like there's nothing that you really notice out of place about it. But yeah, this star map is very, very, very neat. This is very cool. I love the idea of this. That's cool.
And this is actually a thing from my class as well, so it's not something I'm kind of making up. This is something as actual part of my thing as well, just for the viewers. And then I guess I'll head into the mead hall to get my evening's rest. But before I head in, Have I got it? No, I haven't. Okay, I was gonna try and cover him, but I can't. Is there any way I can attempt to sneak the fox in with me?
You certainly can, although you're kind of getting the vibe that also probably no one would bother you if you brought the fox in with you.
Okay. Well, he's unsure about that, so he's gonna try and sneak through, but then if he gets caught, kind of thing, and it's okay, he'll be good with that too.
All right, love that. Yeah, give me a stealth check.
Because he doesn't know the rules of most towns like this. Oh, nat 20 for a 23.
Nat 20.
Nat 1 to nat 20. What the hell's going on?
That's amazing. So yeah, no, you get it as concealed as you need it to be, maybe even just like kind of around the neck where it kind of blends in with your fur, maybe, or
nice.
Something like that. But yeah, you get through the meat hall and up the stairs and up to the rooms. No one notices that you have this fox with you.
Perfect. I get him to just bury his nose, which is like the only black part of him, and just so he looks like part of me. That's cool. I like that. And then I do the same as I did the night before, where I look for where the stars are shining through the window, and I'll lay down on the floor and kind of snuggle up. And then if he wants to come and lay with me as well, that's fine.
Oh, it certainly does. So this fox has grown quite attached, and kind of snuggles up with you, very cute, as you kind of watch the stars and that aurora start to spread across the sky.
Awesome.
I think, yeah. So I think that the next morning comes, and there's a moment where you're having your meal and kind of figuring out next steps. There have been a few things kind of laying at your feet. Now that the meat has been returned to good meat, they're all good here. The murders remain to be investigated. There are the one in Targos that Vivian was able to shed a little bit more light on, one in East Haven, one in Tourmaline, as well as reports of people missing from Dugan's Hole and Caer Dineval and East Haven as well. The closest of these are East Haven, which is about 3 hours away to the east from here. And then Dugan's Hole, which is only about an hour west from Goodmead. Any of the other towns will take considerably more time to get to. But yeah, what is the party's next step, do you think? How does that conversation go?
Well, first thing for Rumble is when he goes down for breakfast, he'll be sneaking bacon essentially into his neck.
Bacon just disappearing into Rumble's neck.
Do any of us notice this? Are we gonna ask? Are we just ignoring it?
That's up to you.
Yeah, I think that definitely is, if like Rumble's doing this at the table, you're all noticing it because you're like sitting with him, but no one else seems to notice. So whether or not you like address it, I think is kind of in your court.
You know, if you have a pet, that's perfectly fine. It's okay. You know, this is a dog-friendly establishment, as it were.
Okay, and then if he hears that, then he'll encourage the fox to kind of be able to sit more comfortably.
Climbs down off your shoulder and just like kind of openly sits on like a empty space on the table, and looks at the bacon and back to you, back to the bacon, back to you.
I give him another piece of bacon.
Chomps it down. Good boy.
But I guess if the closest, if our closest spot is going to be 3 hours away, we should probably go there. That way, once we're done, we can head back this way. Do we have a map of like where everything is so we can kind of decide the best course of action?
Certainly, at least one of you would have a map, and now all of you do as real people too. Here we go. So yeah, you are currently right there in Goodmead. Dugan's Hole, very close to the west from there. East Haven to the east, funnily enough. But yeah, about 3 hours to East Haven, about an hour, hour and a half to Dugan's Hole, and then the sites of all the other murders are like on the other side of Bryn Shander, which will be most of a day's journey. You do have a lead on like a maybe missing person in Caradinaval, but that's maybe not your priority right now. But that's not too far away from East Haven either. You could probably take a ferry over.
We want to be efficient about this, don't we?
Yeah.
There's efficient, and then there's the most immediate threat.
So Rumble writes on his chalkboard, caravan heading to Bryn Shander, ? Shows you.
Which you would be able to confirm based on what Lynn told you last night and the copy of the schedule that she gave you.
So the question is do we want to do more investigation, or are we looking for a fight?
Scribbles it out quick, writes back, investigate / then fight.
Yeah, we want to make sure we have the right people before we, go taking off heads and whatnot.
Well, all things considered, I am a bit biased in this particular manner, just because if we did happen to collect his head, then that just means more business for my daddy, but,
True.
he is a jerk, and he's oily, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's evil.
Well, I can't speak on matters like that, but I can definitely understand what you're saying.
But I guess, do we know when the next sacrifice is supposed to take place?
Yeah, you absolutely would. It happens the first of each month. So the most recent one only happened 4 days ago. You've got most of a month, so 10 days. So you got 26 days until the next one.
All right, so that's definitely not immediate. We've got some time there. Earlier, awfully quiet. You're the most soldier-minded of everyone at the table. What do you think is our best course of action?
I believe it would be better to move swiftly to intercept. If we know that the place where the person is suspected to be is arriving at a certain place, it would make sense to be there. If the person is killed already several times, that would imply that the person is being careless, that they do not particularly care for the fact that they might be noticed. Therefore, perhaps returning to Bryn Shander may be our best option. Although I would wish to alert the guards here that the female giant may be wrathful and seeking revenge, so they should be on their guard.
I would agree.
I can agree to that too. Sounds about right.
Also, I was meaning to ask you, Vivian. Do you carry a secondary weapon in addition to your regular weapon?
I normally carry a crossbow and a short sword.
Do you carry any dagger upon you?
Yes, I do.
Very good. I was just checking.
Yep. I normally, and she'll kind of like show you, like pull up her like snow pants essentially, and she'll kind of like show you that she keeps it like tucked in her boot. So, little boogers like what flew at us can't steal all her weapons.
Sure. Vivian's always strapped. Okay.
Katsumi just takes note of that and it's just like, so that's where you're supposed to keep a dagger.
Very good. All right. So it sounds like agreement that the next move should be to head off this individual in Bryn Shander and question them.
By the way, sorry, just smallcasting was important. Did the owner of the axe speak? Give me feed for it. Did he?
Yeah, there would have been like a small amount of feed. You probably have enough for 3 days or so.
Thank you. Very good. Okay.
But yeah, you would have been given, feed and the saddle and strong rope to tie it up and that sort of thing.
Very good. Okay. In that case, I'll go out. Okay.
All right. Well, if that's the case, then I think that is where we'll pick up next time, is on the way to Bryn Shander. We've got a couple minutes left here. And since we're like level 3 and that's kind of a bigger level, why don't we just like talk for the last like 10 minutes here? What are y'all subclasses and stuff? What's level 3 looking like for all of you?
Hmm.
Well, my subclass came at level 2. And
Well,
I think most people have kind of guessed what mine is by now, if they know of any of the druidic subclasses.
Sure.
Installation, yeah.
Yeah.
Third level would be whenever you'd gain second level spells, though, yeah.
True.
Yes,
Yeah.
this is going to be pretty good for me, thankfully. We might all be able to heal.
Yeah.
I chose Arcane Trickster, and I'll need to speak with you later on what you allow and disallow with homebrew.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. Love that. Love Arcane Trickster.
It's my favorite.
You know? Oh no, go ahead. I'm
Okay. I was gonna say I decided to take I think Eldritch Knight.
Oh, very nice.
Very cool.
Yeah, love Eldritch Knight. And I guess for Katumi, you've already got your Sorceress Origin, but you've got your meta magic now, I guess, right?
Yes, I'm looking at that right now and I'm just like, these all look so much fun. I think Empowered Spell is probably going to come in handy.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
But I'm not sure what I want to do for that second one. Ooh, Twin Spell, yeah.
Twinned is great. Quickened, Heightened. There's a lot of really great options. Sorcerer is like for sure my favorite class to play. Yeah, very cool.
Talking about the Twinned, actually, an absolute class play, and I think it was the Twin Spell, if I'm right, you can correct me, Craig, was the double heal you did on Vibrance. That was Twinned, wasn't it? That was an absolute clutch. That was so damn good.
Yeah, that came in very, very handy. Yeah, Twin Spell, and like depending on like your Sorceress Origin, like Twin Spell can do so many different things rather than just like hurt 2 things, right? It's very, very cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to all that. But yeah, that'll bring us to the end for today. Thank you everyone for coming and checking out this episode of Rime the Frostmaiden. I love that board and chalk. I think that is just like the funnest prop.
Amazing.
And yeah, thank you very much to Christian for running the stream and the Twitch channel. Thanks again to Travis Savoy for the use of his album Winter's Wrath, which is featured fairly heavily in the stream. Yeah, if you want to find me on Instagram or whatever, my username is Craig7Darling. I've got a couple of live shows. If any of you in Ontario are watching right now, or in Blue Mountain on Friday, and then in Huntsville on Saturday with my band My Son the Hurricane, you can find our whole tour schedule online there. And speaking on that, actually, we may have a little bit of a break here I'm going to see what we can do in terms of pre-recording an episode so that there's something not next week, but the week after for all of you. But I am going away for about a month with my band on tour. We're going to be all up and down the West Coast and that sort of thing. So if we don't see you in a couple weeks, hold tight. We'll be back. At the very worst, we'll miss 1 or 2 sessions, but I am going to try and see if we can schedule something to pre-record for all of you. So if we don't see you between now and then, I hope everyone has a great week, and thank you for everyone for coming in and playing today. One of these days, we're going to get the whole party together. Sorry about the whole back and forth on that. But yeah, everyone have a great day.